Hey artists, it's Ms. Messer, your friendly neighborhood art teacher. And today we are gonna work on practicing and starting a new project. So we're gonna practice some of the things we did last time. We're gonna bring those back in, like value. That's how light or dark your color is. And mark making, which is the way you move your pencil to make different styles of marks. And then we're also gonna practice bubble letters. So we have a lot happening today. Let's jump right in. This is a whole new project and I can't wait to get started. Okay, so today you're gonna get a piece of paper that's about half size, but the trick is you've gotta make a bubble letter that's gonna fill up that whole sheet of paper. So I'm gonna write name and class code on the back as always. Then I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm gonna make a nice big letter. I would choose the first letter of your name, but if you have a nickname, you could do that too. You could use your last name, something that has some meaning to you, a letter that has some meaning to you. And you're gonna draw that nice and big. I'm gonna do S for Samantha. And I just want you to notice how I am totally filling up my whole page, okay? Then I'm gonna do, it's up to me. I could do a block letter. Remember, a block has like straight lines and corners. If I would prefer, I could do a bubble letter. I think I'm gonna do that. That's more like rounded edges, okay? So I wanna make sure this bubble letter is nice and thick because we're gonna put a design inside of it. And if your bubble letter's not big enough, if it's not thick enough, you won't have anywhere to put your design. That looks pretty good, but I have to remember that essential step of erasing the line from the middle of my page, okay? That's really important, from the middle of my bubble letter. Once I do that, there are at your tables, you've got some pattern sheets. Take a look at the pattern sheets and get out a Sharpie. If you want to, you can start with a pencil to sort of block off different spaces. Be like, I'm gonna do one pattern here, I'm gonna do one pattern there. I don't wanna see any scribbling with a Sharpie though, so if you mess up, you've gotta turn it into something else. Maybe I'll start with this one. I think that's really interesting. So I'm gonna fill up one of these spaces with these kind of blooming spirals. I like that idea. This is an assignment, a project where we are getting practice doing lots of details. I want you to really get into your work. I want you to really work on your focus today. It can be really fun to get into patterns. You all know how to draw a line. You know how to draw different types of shapes. Just look into your brain, see what's already there. And then just keep drawing, keep that hand moving. Your brain will go to a totally different place, I promise. It will be amazing. I see this has like a black space too, but it also has some dots. I'm gonna add those dots. I'm gonna keep going. And then I could take my Sharpie and start kind of coloring in. We're using these skinny Sharpies today because I want you to get that detail. Please make sure you're not pressing on them very hard because you can ruin the tip. You don't need to press on them hard, just lightly and gently, okay? I'm gonna move on from this area even though it's not done. I could pick out a different one. Maybe because this one was a little complex, I'll pick out a more simple one for a different. I like this, that's a little bit simpler. So maybe I will go do these different types of lines, kind of squiggling around, taking my time, and then I could add those little dots. Now, once I am totally done with my Sharpie and with my patterns on the inside of this, I'm going to bring back that idea of value. I want you to focus on this part first, and I want you to really take your time with this. If you get done with the patterns today, then you can experiment with value using colored pencils. So I'm grabbing a colored pencil, and For value, remember, that means the lightness or darkness of a color. So I could color right on top of my patterns. Oops. And I've got a nice dark color started. And then maybe as I move my pencil over, I'm pressing lighter so that I'm getting a lighter value. That's going to make it really interesting to look at. That's going to make the difference. That's what takes you from second and third grade into fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh grade. That little bit in your artwork. Let's go ahead and get started today. Let's see if we can make something amazing. I know that you can.